Josh are here to answer your questions about flying and about becoming a pilot, and perhaps even about the airport itself. I know they love those questions. They are here from WOCA Aviation Flight School. Remember, that's where you would go in Ocala if you want to learn how to fly. That's what they do for a living. They teach people how to fly and become pilots. The phone number to call right now, if you'd like to speak to Josh and Brad, either with a question or just to be part of the conversation, is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622 WOCA. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Well, how about you?
Good.
Good.
Let me turn it around and make sure I'm looking.
There you go. Now we can see you.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I wanted to see. I'm going to open it right up. I'm going to talk about fuel farm.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why is we talked about it a little bit last week. So I went in and straight to, I guess they say, the horse's mouth.
Wow.
But that's rude to say that about her, because I don't mean it that way. to the lady I talked to.
The lady, yeah, don't say that.
And I got the information where they're talking about putting it and all that. And they are talking about moving it. It's on the field, but not where they originally talked about. They've kind of put it off to the, well, they're talking, they're proposing putting it off to the side a little bit. And what they will do is, although we already have self-serve, they're going to move the self-serve over to it.
So something changes as far as the pilot being able to self-serve, or that doesn't
No, they
change
can still self-serve.
See, I don't really understand.
It's just moving where they can self-serve. But I'm not really sure the dynamics of it, because there's just a single what is it? I guess it'd be it's not technically a taxiway, because it's going from the ramp to a hangar. So it's not a taxiway, it's a rampway. What would that be called?
I think it'd be called the taxiway still.
It's
just an uncontrolled taxiway.
Okay. Well, we'll say it's a taxiway. It has it where they're planning on putting it. It has a taxiway that goes past it. So to fuel up, I don't know exactly where they plan on making people turn around. Because where it is now, there's a huge area. It's on the ramp, so you can pull up to it, fuel, and then keep going. This way you won't be able to do so. I'm not sure the whole dynamics of how it's going to work.
Well, they're also saying that they're going to do self-serve for jets.
Yeah.
So far, they only have self-serve for airplanes that have piston-powered power source.
Yeah. And yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And but they're saying, oh, now we're going to have self-serve for jets. Well, I'm sorry, I've never seen a corporate pilot hop out of his jet and fuel as their own airplane, right? Plus, they, like Brad was just saying, they won't have room to get those jets in and out of that little area.
Yeah, so we're not really sure. I mean, and it's not that the pilots won't do it. It's just, I mean, usually they're dressed up, or they're dealing with the people that are on and off of the planes. They can't.
Or
by the way, passengers. Well, there are. No, I haven't seen any of those to come in.
I have.
Oh, okay. They're not our local ones, though. No. But, you know, you're not going to say to your passengers, hold on, I'm going to stop at the fuel farm and self-serve our fuel. They're not going to do that. I mean, they're going to pull right up. Most of the time, they pull right up to the front. They let their passengers out. Landmark goes out there and fuels them. The people come in. They still take care of their. You know, it's. I don't really know if they're going to use jet too much, but it's one of those conditions of where they were putting it. I don't know.
So, is there anything about fueling a plane that requires special training?
Well, for the landmark people, yes, because you know they've got to make sure they don't damage planes, they don't do anything like that. I mean, I guess technically, if you own your own plane, if you want to fuel it, you know, you just gotta make sure you do it right.
Yeah, usually the big things are, you know, there's a static strap that has to be connected to the airplane so that there's no residual static electricity on the airplane, so there's no sparks, that sort of thing. You know, there's other things like that, but as far as specific training, yeah, you just need to be told how to do it, and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
And is the training, would it be different for a jet plane than a regular plane, whatever?
It really depends. Some jets and some even larger airplanes have what they call single point fueling, which is basically, instead of climbing up on the wings and putting fuel right into the fuel tanks, they've got a port probably near the bottom of the airplane where they plug in there, and they use the pumps on the truck to actually pump fuel up into the wings, and that takes a different system. So.
Oh wow! Have you guys seen the new roller coasters where you fly on the wings instead of like in the fuselage of the airplane?
Like on the outside.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. It's a ride.
Okay.
There's only 5 of them in the world, I think. And yeah, it has a middle part that sits on the track.
Okay, I get you.
And that's the
So you're
equivalent.
suspended.
Yeah, it looks like, they make them look like eagles. So like the body of the eagle is on the track, and you sit on the wings.
And you're actually sitting, so there's nothing below you.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they have stuff like that. Yeah,
I just drew a so we understand.
It's a very good picture.
Brad understands pictures as well.
I do.
Yeah,
They have a lot of those. I mean, I haven't seen it like that, where I have seen it where you're suspended and the tracks above you. So, I mean, I don't know what the difference
Yeah,
is.
I know. I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I don't know the difference.
And I did see one where it looked like you were riding. I can't say that word.
What the word is.
Say it, but it's like a motorcycle, but you know the racing motorcycles. You like the roller coaster. Looks like you're looks like you're sitting on one of those, and they have like a row of them like 8, and apparently you're supposed to. I don't know. Look pretty intense, but there's nothing around you. Like you seatbelt yourself in, and this little thing that pushes against your back to hold you forward.
So what's the word? Sissy bar or something?
No.
Oh, no. So
It's what you call one of those kind of bikes.
what do you call them?
A rocket, but there's a word for it. I don't know if it's technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Pocket?
No.
This word pocket go for? Oh, you're right. Both writing it down.
Yeah. Okay. You're writing it. Yeah. Anyway, back to.
What is the word?
Well, that's not going to help when you got to hand it to him. Back to aviation, we do want to say congratulations to Neil.
Oh, you could say crotch rocket. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
You could say that.
I don't know regulations. I don't like, Okay, so yes, a crotch rocket. That's what I grew up saying. Is that what you say now in your young generation, Josh?
That's what you said.
Young generation.
Your young
That's
generation.
what you measure for your pants. You start at the crotch, you go to the leg.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
I have no idea what my generation calls them.
I don't know that.
I'm very far removed from my generation.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. But yes, congratulations to Neil. He got his multi-engine rating yesterday, which was very good. So yay for him. And we are just, everything is moving along. We are getting into the summer season when people should be coming out and doing a lot of discovery flights. You should be telling your neighbors, your kids, your grandkids that they need to come out and do discovery flights and start training. You need to tell your neighbors and kids and grandkids that they need to give that away for a good graduation present.
Do you ever have people come out for a discovery flight with like an odd request, like a specific area they want to fly over, or a specific time they want to fly over?
Fly with my cat, that sort of thing. Yeah.
You have had that?
No.
Fly with my cat?
Well, we did one. That was a long time ago. Recently, no. I mean, people want to fly over their house. They want to fly over water. They want to fly over jumbo air. There's nothing really.
So actually, one of the questions we ask before we go fly, is there anything specific you want to go see?
Yeah.
Some people want to go see Lake Weir or their house or something like that. So.
Yeah. Now, of course, when we say go see it, it's not a sightseeing tour. I mean, you actually get up, you get to take the controls, you're flying the plane, so you actually are getting to see how cool it is to fly to your house, and how, you know, it may take you 30 minutes to get to the airport, but when you fly there, it only takes you 3, you know, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, you do actually remember, you're taking the controls, you're in that front seat, and you get to fly the plane, which is very good. But instead of just going over the airport, we try and make it where it's at least a little bit fun too.
Well, would I sound like a wuss if I told you it was a little frightening for me when I took the controls? I thought, you know, I'd rather not. I'd rather not hold on to those controls.
No, that is not abnormal at all.
Really?
But
because
some
I was afraid just the slightest wrong move, I might flip the thing or something.
Well, you know, and that's actually why we tell people, you know, when they come out and say, I want to learn to fly, I'm like, have you been in a small plane before? Have you? Yes. Have you taken the controls? No. Then you need to go on a discovery flight, because there's a difference when you're sitting there with your hands across them when you take the controls,
right,
and you know, you move the yoke and the plane starts doing stuff. It's very, very important to know how you're going to react to that.
Also, just to put your mind at ease a little bit, the airplanes that we use for training are very, very stable airplanes. They will not go inverted or go into a spin or anything like that unless you're really, really trying. Alright. The reason that we use Cessna 172s at the flight school. The reason that is the most widely used training aircraft in the world is because it's such a stable airplane and an easy airplane for students to learn in.
Quote unquote easy.
Alright, it's easier than
there you go.
Some of the alternatives that they use for.
Yeah, but there was that moment I went up with Ron, Robin, and I did. And when Ron said, "Okay, Larry, you want to take the controls?" I was like, "Hey, I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I think I'll just take pictures." I felt like that's really what I wanted to do. So.
Yeah. One of the things I always tell people on a discovery flight is there's not much you can do up here that I can't fix, which is actually quite true. If they do something, and even if they put the airplane into a spin or something like that, which they would really have to know what they're doing in order to put an airplane in.
It's not going to happen easy, trust me.
I'm going to get it out in a matter of seconds, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool that you can do that.
Well, and the thing is when we're talking about the spins, is through for the CFI training, the CFIs, the flight instructors have to go through spin training, which means they go up with Ron, and
most of the time we look forward to it.
Yeah, but they have to work hard to force the plane to spin. It's not something that's going to happen easy. They have to go up and try a few times to get it right to where they can make it spin.
That's crazy.
That's just how stable it is. They've been making them for 40 some odd years. They know how to make them stable, which is good.
Well, and that that's why I tell them there's nothing you can do up here that I can't fix. If I were to have a discovery flight, and this has never happened, but if a discovery flight person were to put the airplane into a spin, that tells me that they know enough to get it out again. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
If they know how to make it happen.
Yeah. If you can force the airplane into a spin, then they know more than they're letting on. Yeah. That's how stable the airplane is.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, it's not a big deal to worry. But once you were up, it was exciting, but it was
awesome.
Yeah,
I recommend it for everybody. It really is a great experience.
Yes, and it's perfect timing with the discovery flights and with the school getting over that. We're looking at the scholarship. So these kids that are just getting out of school that are seniors,
right.
they can do that scholarship. It is still there, and we talk about it. We've got commercials about it. You got to start spreading the word. Hugh, I know you were listening. I know you've got sons, and grandsons, and stepsons, and relatives. Somebody's got to know. I can't. What was his stepson's name?
I have no idea.
To Don? I don't know. I met him. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. But so we know you're out there. We know you're listening. We know you're going to spread the word. So you've been called out.
And a lot of these listeners have gone on discovery flights because for a while they were giving a lot away.
Yes.
And they really, I don't think there's been one that did not have a good experience.
Yeah. Knock on.
Yeah.
Fake wood. Yes, Josh?
Yes.
Okay, exactly. So yeah, no, the scholarship is a good thing to do, and so the discovery flights. It's a great time to do it. People think, is there a better time in Florida? No, I mean, that's why so many people train in Florida. They come from all over the world, all over the country to fly in Florida because you're going to have good weather the most of the time to do it.
So you don't have a busier day, like people don't say, I want to fly on the 4th of July or that kind of thing.
Christmas. Everyone wants to fly on Christmas.
Really?
Yes.
Which we don't
do.
But everybody wants to.
I've had people call up and say, hey, I've got Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off of work. I want to fly. And I'm like, well, I kind of have those days off of work too. And response I got was, "So you're not going to be flying that day?" No. What sometimes people forget is, you know,
You're working.
that's our job. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people come out to fly during their time off or their spare time.
Right.
We do it all the time. Our spare time consists of not flying usually.
Yeah, they don't. Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, before, honestly, I would say a couple of years ago, our busiest day was, I mean, not specific day, but of the week was Saturday. Now it's really scaled off of that. We don't really have that many people flying on the weekends anymore.
My busiest day is usually Monday and Friday. Are my busiest days.
That makes sense. Yeah. Josh,
We'll fly you anytime.
Josh, how soon before you go to
Not soon
be
enough.
on your mission? On your
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
I will be leaving Florida in August.
in August. Okay.
Yeah.
For some
Go-
reason, I was thinking it was April.
No.
Okay.
We're kind of already almost
We're
past
like
April.
done with it.
I know.
But yeah, we're gonna be leaving in August to go and do the training, and we'll go from there overseas. So
And when are you going to start scaling back?
I will no longer be full time flying out of Cali Aviation at the end of June, and I'll probably do some part-time stuff throughout July.
Hmm.
So
So if you
And
want
why is that, Josh?
because,
You gotta elaborate here, man. Come on.
because I'm preparing to move cross country and
And then across the world.
yeah, and then cross the world, spend time with family and friends before we go, and all that kind of stuff. And
You've been saying all that kind of stuff a lot today.
there's a lot of stuff.
Apparently.
So what is the long-term plan? Are you coming back?
Eventually, the long-term plan is that we'll fly for New Tribes Mission over in Papua New Guinea, probably for 4 years at a time. 4
Wow.
years there, and then probably a year back here in the States, and then 4 years over there and stuff like that for the foreseeable future.
Wow, that's a big hunk of time. Right?
More stuff, yeah.
That's at least 9 years you just told us about.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a career decision.
Well, that'll put him like at 24, 25 by that time.
Yeah. No, the whole reason that I ever became a pilot was to do exactly what we're going to
The
do.
mission work.
So, I'm quite happy to be able to see that dream coming true. So,
You saw a video from one of the astronauts in the International Space Station, and he was basically, teaching things from about science, to classes. So you should do something similar. You should not a teaching thing, but just like a regular post or a blog or something like that, so we can keep up with what you're doing.
My wife does the blog.
Yeah, but she does for her stuff, right?
No, I wouldn't be able to do it.
No,
I don't.
I don't even know what a blog is.
I don't have the. I feel like I would get over there and I'd make like one blog post, and then you'd never hear from me.
Yeah, but she's doing it, so you could ask her to incorporate what you're doing with her.
I think she does a little bit. I don't even know.
You don't know? You haven't read it?
I do. I read it. I do read it, but
I read it once.
Yeah. I do read it often, actually, every single time she posts. But usually it's about our trip to Disney or the weekend or something.
So it's
like
news that you were actually part of.
Yeah. Yep.
So you know the news.
Yeah.
So you just... So she doesn't mention your aviation stuff.
Well, I'm sure she will, when things happen that are important. Right now, we're just kind of status quo in the aviation department.
Is she a pilot too?
No.
No.
Did the inflection mean anything?
She would like to learn how to land the airplane at some point, but she doesn't want me to teach her.
Okay.
And
probably good.
And probably good thing, because I like being married, and it's kind of like a unwritten rule in aviation. If you're a flight instructor, don't try to teach your wife how to fly.
Well, same thing with cars, right?
Yeah. Well, and yeah. Yes, exactly. Well, and the issue is too is not everything just with your wife. I mean, that's a true statement, but it's also what we tend to have is people that aren't flight instructors that try and teach people or try and undermine the instructors because they're pilots. And they say, well, that's not how you should do it. You should do it this way. So don't.
And
do
they're
that
not intentionally undermining
they're not.
pilots, but they think, my instructor taught me this way, my way, this way is better. Whereas the aviation community is constantly changing. They're introducing new laws and new regulations that we have to comply with, and we adapt our teaching styles in order to incorporate those things in a very logical way.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have, especially some of the older pilots, say to some of the upcoming learning pilots, you don't need to do that like that. Yes, you do, because later on we incorporate a new regulation, or we have to do it this way because of a new regulation.
Or sometimes regulations, sometimes they want us to put an emphasis on something because of something that's been going on. They have, excuse me, they've been having what are called runway incursions. Now, it's not a huge deal. Don't be freaking out. But it's just where you have two aircraft on the same runway for some reason. Where somebody
technically right. Would you like me to define it for you?
Well, I was trying to make it simple.
In the official term?
Go ahead and give the official.
All right. The official, what the FAA says is
runway or taxiway.
A runway or taxiway incursion is an aircraft, vehicle, or person being on a surface where they're not authorized to be. So that could be on a runway or a taxi or anything. Basically, an airplane being on a, let's just say, a runway that they weren't cleared to be on. Right? It doesn't have to be any kind of incident with another airplane. It's just an unauthorized move. And because of that, we emphasize knowing your runway signage, emphasize learning how to talk to ground control and everything like that a lot more than because it's much more important than it used to be back in the day.
Yes, because you've got a lot more planes, you've got bigger planes, faster planes, whatever, and so they've just put more emphasis on it. And another one is like soloing. Before, it was a brag. You'd brag to have your license, your solo in like 5 or 7 hours. Now the FAA doesn't want somebody getting their solo, they're flying solo at least for like 20-25 hours, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So you have people coming in. Well, why hasn't my son soloed? I did it in 5 hours. Well, because we're training a different way now. It's much more. It's not important when you do it. It's as long as you do it.
Yeah.
So we want you to be safer, not quicker.
And there's a lot more more things that we have to document that we've trained them in.
Exactly.
Before we can actually turn them loose to go solo by themselves.
Yeah.
And
yes,
you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
See, on Earth here we have what we call road rage, and I know you know what it is, and I know what it is, and everything else. Is there anything like air rage? Yeah, people that don't use the rules and regulations in flying in that could be, let's say you report them, and could they be fined or disciplined or anything?
Yes. That's all of the above. We never call it air rage. And usually, you have it where it's rage, where it's people being angry. It's more just
people being stupid.
Yes, irresponsible, Josh.
Yeah.
That's about.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can report it. Sometimes the FAA can do something. Sometimes they can't. We've had instances where we've complained about a particular person, and the FAA says, unfortunately, we didn't witness it, or not enough people witnessed it, so we will keep an eye out. And sometimes if you have the right people seeing it, then they will just automatically. Sometimes they will be fine. Sometimes they have to have remedial training. But yeah, if they know that somebody is doing something wrong, especially on purpose, or even on an accident, you tend to have some kind of training or fine or hand slap. And
so there's a possibility of losing your license too, probably. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple incidents, and these happened. This is a good way to tie it back to the airport. Before that, we even had a tower. We had a lot of those that would disrupt the traffic pattern here at Ocala without the control tower.
Yeah.
What was it? One time we had a student out on her first solo. She was flying the airplane all by herself for the first time, and a gentleman came down in his, what was it, an acrobatic airplane, came underneath the student as she was on final, and smoked the runway with the air show smoke.
That was nice, yeah.
Yeah. And things like that are, it's not necessarily rage, it's just sometimes they're showing off, but
stupidity.
Yeah,
exactly.
little bit of irresponsibility.
Yeah.
And things like that have kind of decreased because of the tower in our local area, but it still happens out, past where the tower has any jurisdiction.
Well, now if it's witnessed through the tower, somebody working there, now that would have a little more pull, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, if they did it with the tower there, I mean, it'd be big trouble because they would be
before the tower.
Yeah, this was before the tower. I mean,
yeah,
because they would be breaking a lot of rules at that point. Yeah.
Another reason why we got to keep the tower, I guess.
We'd like to.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice talking, guys. Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Yeah, another one you see is a lot of people want to do like the Top Gun move and buzz the tower and that kind of stuff, and it's not something that you should generally be doing. Just because it's funny or cool in the movie does not mean it's generally cool
or safe.
Or safe, exactly. And again, you tend to have a lot of that stuff, when there's
usually from either older pilots who have been flying forever and doing it forever, or younger pilots who have this, thought of that the best pilot out there.
a hot shot attitude.
Yeah.
Is there the equivalent in airplanes to like standard and automatic in cars? Is there transmission at all in an airplane?
No.
No. Okay.
First, I was trying to figure out what you were saying. No, there's no transmission. No. Just the engine spins the prop.
Huh. That's it.
At least with ours. Yes. Yeah. But there's still no transmission in anything. No.
Well, helicopters have transmissions, but they don't work the same. They just basically convert they convert the torque of the engine into to spin the rotor blades, but there's no gears or anything like gears that you can change.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell that here if I run in a little bit.
Sure. Well, he's listening. He can explain it. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about you talking about teaching your wife or teaching anybody when you're in a car and somebody has never learned. I guess it's easier to teach in an automatic. I don't know. It's easier to learn in an automatic. Anyway.
I learned in a stick.
I learned in a stick.
So did I, but teaching.
Nobody learns in sticks anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
He does.
Which is good because some thieves don't know how to. So if you have a stick, you're not likely to get the car stolen. Did you ever hear that?
No. Really?
Because younger thieves don't know how to drive sticks. So if you have a stick,
It does.
I enjoy driving stick because you can tend to get better gas mileage out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit less maintenance.
You like to race off the line, I know.
Nah. A little bit.
You sound a little bit like Sebastian there. Nah. It's amazing how with our students, how you pick up different things
Oh,
from
really?
students after time, and you do. We phrases, things that they say.
Well, we have international students who come in. We got some people from Colombia and Ecuador.
We now have one from Russia,
one from Japan, and we try to get them to teach us a little bit.
oh really? Of the language?
Yeah, in the language.
And what did Hero teach you for?
Hero taught me
For good morning.
Good Morning, which is Ohio.
Ohio.
Wow.
And you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to.
Yeah,
Ohio.
Yep.
a little bit of a bow there.
Does Idaho mean anything?
And
No.
konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, that's just a good day.
Yes.
And you have to do the little bow thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Huh.
Not too far, just a little bit of a nod.
And then
We haven't learned anything from our Russian yet. He just got here yesterday. So.
I asked him to teach me something yesterday. He kind of gave me this look of what?
Yeah.
But no, the Sebastian, our Colombian, taught me buenos dias, buenos noches,
Nachos.
buenos noches. Sorry, buenos tardes. I can say other things too, but not on the radio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
good to learn
actually kind of neat though, because we do try and we're learning more, and we're trying to make it where it's going to be easier on them eventually too. You know, I mean, because we do have some Spanish-speaking instructors, but we're trying to make it everybody at least we can do some kind of communicating, which is very helpful. I mean, they all speak English, but it's still fun to learn their language.
Yeah, they all have to speak English to get the license.
Yeah.
But sometimes, when you're trying to explain something and you can just grab it and say, this word is this in Spanish, then they can, they can kind of translate it and learn there too.
To be multilingual by the time you are done with all of this.
He's already multilingual. Josh speaks 3 languages?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
And I don't mean Japanese and Spanish.
What are the 3?
I speak English, obviously. Well,
Oh, wow.
8 out of 10. I speak Melanesian Pidgin,
Melanesian Pidgin.
which is one of the languages over in Papua New Guinea,
Wow.
kind of like the trade language. And then I also speak Flemish, which is much like Dutch, from Belgium.
Say something in Flemish.
We zijn gedaan met de show, dus gaan we nu naar huis.
What did you say?
Yeah.
I said we're done with the show, so we're gonna go home.
So the show in Flemish is the show? Because that's one
I
part.
couldn't even recall the
So that's not really what it is. You just said the show.
well, I think they call it the show half the time there too.
Well, okay. Apparently the show is done.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Say voorstelling
What is that?
show.
Oh. Then why did you say that?
Because I can't think of it right away.
Oh, okay.
Or, well, that would be, the presentation voorstelling.
Okay.
Wow. Impressive.
Fantastic.
You guys are amazing. Thanks for what you do.
I know I am.
What's your phone number? What's your phone number?
It is 352-861-7484. You can go ocalaviation.com and get a lot of information there.
All right.
Discovery Flight Scholarships.
Yes. Call us if you need that repeated. We'll take a break and be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370